Today, Hillary Clinton revealing her official economic plan.
You can't solve our problems without economic growth. Growth creates jobs and prosperity, and that is the glue that binds our society together.
So, Stuart, you say there's a clear choice. Hillary Clinton wants to make us more like Europe. Donald Trump wants to make us grow again.
That's my opinion.
With all sorts of stuff. What's the matter with Europe?
What's the matter with Europe?
What's the matter with Europe for the folks at home? You remember you're a refugee.
I am a refugee from European socialism. It's not a sustainable model. They're bankrupt. Many of those societies are bankrupt.
They're super in the red.
No growth, virtually no growth, for many, many years. Their population is actually declining, and it's aging. That is not a sustainable economic model. It's just not. It might sound in terms of growth and expansion. Donald Trump would lower taxes for individuals and for corporations. He would cut regulation. He would encourage domestic energy expansion and output. That's a recipe for vigorous growth in the economy. And look, they're in decline.
What I've heard people say, they like Donald Trump's plan because he takes it from 4 brackets to 3 brackets. Everyone gets benefits because everyone's going to have their taxes lowered.
Trump wants to cut taxes for the super rich. Well, we're not going there, my friends. I'm telling you right now, we're going to write fairer rules for the middle class, and we are going to raise taxes on the middle class. Trump wants to cut taxes for the super rich. Well, we're not going there, my friends. I'm telling you right now, we're going to write fairer rules for the middle class, and we are going to raise taxes on the middle class.
The purpose of the SIP is to, quote, provide accurate and comprehensive information about the income and program participation that has constantly been screamed down, that you constantly be called xenophobic, racist, Nazi, whatever. Well, it turns out that intuition, that instinct that you had, yeah, it's correct.
When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity. And now they're beating us economically. They are not our friend.
Black people and white people can't be unified for Trump? That's bullcrap. Trump refuses to denounce the KKK.
How do you feel about the recent endorsement from David Duke?
I didn't even know he endorsed me. David Duke endorsed me? Okay. All right. I disavow. Okay? Yes. All right. Yes.
In the absence of the truth, bullcrap prevails. So here come the truth jokers. Look at what's been going on. All the people are coming out, the dang Walking Dead. You know, the people who don't pay attention to politics until the election cycle comes around. And they get so emotional. They get all into it, and you know, they pick their sides and they fight against each other, but in reality they ain't getting nowhere with it. So you're falling for the little racist angle. You're fighting each other. You're ripping up the signs. And, oh yeah, let me go to this. This is something here. How is it that this little fake joker right here comes out and endorses Donald Trump? Now, elections are all about perception. So when you see this guy endorsing Donald Trump, you say, oh, well, Donald Trump is a racist because he's endorsing Donald Trump. But here's the thing. What is KKK? Well, the KKK was created by the Democrats. KKK still belongs to the Democrats. So this guy right here knows that if he comes out and throws his support behind Donald Trump, it's going to get the reaction of this. That's the only reason why he's coming out and doing that. Lyndon B. Johnson did the same thing in the 1964 election. He made an ad saying that Barry Goldwater was endorsed by the KKK. But how is he going to say that when the KKK is a Democratic entity? They are the prop, and I'm talking about the KKK. The Democrats are the most racist party in history, the only party in American history to kill black people because they wanted them to vote Democrat. Lyndon B. Johnson said, I'll have those N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years. When he was talking about N-words, he was talking about black people. And black people, they still vote Democrat.
Neither have I. You don't know me. You're fucking a white male. So?
Today, our country has lost a true American original, my friend and mentor, Robert C. Byrd. Senator Byrd was a man of surpassing eloquence and nobility.
There are white. I've seen a lot of white in my time.
I admired his tireless advocacy for his West Virginia constituents, his fierce defense of the Constitution and the traditions of the Senate, and his passion for a government that improves the lives of the people it serves.
There are white. I've seen a lot of white in my time.
They mentioned that he once had a fleeting association with a Ku Klux Klan. And what does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. He was a country boy from the hills and hollows of West Virginia. He was trying to get elected.
As Secretary of State, I continued to rely on his advice and counsel. Robert C. Byrd led by the power of his example, and he made all of us who had the honor of serving as his colleagues better public servants and better citizens. Robert C. Byrd left such a legacy.
We have given her $20,000 anonymously for her campaign fund. She is friends with the Klan. The KKK endorses Hillary Clinton. About illegal immigrants. She doesn't. She's acting like she does so she can get into office. She's a Democrat. The Klan has always been a Democratic organization.
People in the streets.
Hitler not remind you of that? Does Trump not remind you of that?
No, explain to me how Trump is like Hitler. Mass abortion.
There isn't any sensible approach except to do what we need to do simultaneously. Secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary in some places, and we need to have tougher employer sanctions, and we need to try to incentivize Mexico to do more. If they've committed transgressions of whatever kind, they should be obviously deported.
Sessions went on to explain that Obama's immigration policy is killing wages, particularly for immigrants and minority groups, because the flow of labor is so large, it floods the labor market and depresses wages. Of the Daily Caller, Donald Trump is going to do better with Hispanics and African Americans because he's talking about things that will really make their wages go up.
I do not support gay marriage.
I live in New York. New York is a place with lots of gays, and I think it's great.
I'd be shorter if we mass abortion, so obeying the law. Donald Trump wants to obey the laws on immigration. Donald Trump wants to obey.
And basically fuck with the one person who stands in the way of us being ruled by Donald Trump.
Just before I came in here, we thought we'd do a little search in our files, and I do notice that a William Mayer gave a Clinton-affiliated entity $1 million. Now, it's a William Mayer in LA, where at the time the money came. Perhaps you would like to comment. Is that you?
Yeah, I don't think.
For the KKK, Hillary Clinton is our choice.
Gang
fate? What? Oh, medic. Oh, go ahead, take that. That's more important than all of this. Go ahead, a medic. Hopefully they're okay. Are they okay? They're okay? Oh, she just fainted. She's, you know what? That means she was excited. That's okay. Make sure she's good. Those are my best fans. The ones that faint, I love the most. That's fine. Okay, everything good over there? Okay, take your time. Take your time. Make sure she's perfect. I noticed they have a couple of ambulances right outside just in case. But that's great. I love you too. I love you too. Everything good? Let's get going then.
Despite its impressive length, it's a nimble navigator, and some can be highly venomous. Just like the tarantula it's killing, the centipede has two curved, hollow fangs, which inject paralyzing venom. This is a predator.
And he said, oh, I'm never going to attack. But then his poll numbers tanked. He's got that's why he's on the end. And he got nasty. Go back to Univision. Go ahead. Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Centipede. You can't stump the Trump.
Mr. Trump, I think maybe my greatest weakness is that I trust people too much. I'm too trusting. And when they let me down, if they let me down, I never forgive. I find it very, very hard to forgive people that deceived me.
Absolutely based. Pharisees blown the fuck out.
Dr. Carson, probably in terms of applying for a job until hundreds of thousands of people began to tell me that I needed to do it.
Mrs. Fiorina.
Well, gee, after the last debate, I was told that I didn't smile enough.
Senator Paul.
Short.
Governor Kasich, 30 seconds.
Good question, but I want to tell you, my great concern is that we are on the verge, perhaps, of picking someone who cannot do this job. I've watched to see people say that we should dismantle Medicare and Medicaid and leave our senior citizens out in the cold. I've heard them talk about deporting 10 or 11 people here.
Wait, what?
Deporting 10 or 11 people. Deporting 10 or 11 people.
It's confirmed. Trump wants to deport everyone on stage, including the moderators.
Mr. Trump, 30 seconds. First of all, John got lucky with a thing called fracking, okay? He hit oil. He got lucky with fracking, believe me. That's why Ohio is doing well. Number two, this is the man that was a managing general partner at Lehman Brothers when it went down the tubes, because I was there and I watched what happened, and Lehman Brothers started it all. He was on the board, and he was a managing general partner. And just third...
Please, Trump. Please, no Stump.
He was so nice. He was such a nice guy. And he said, oh, I'm never going to attack. But then his poll numbers tanked. He's got that's why he's on the end. And he got nasty.
You can't stump the Trump.
Nice. He was such a nice guy. And he said, oh, I'm never going to attack. But then his poll numbers tanked. He's got that's why he's on the end. And he got nasty.
When you look at the average of national polls right now is Donald Trump. When you look at him, do you see someone with the moral authority to unite the country?
John Harwood is trying to bait Huckabee into stumping the Trump. Will it work? Let's find out.
You know, as few questions I've got, the last one I need is to give him some more time. I love Donald Trump. He is a good man. I'm wearing a Trump tie tonight. Give her that one, okay?
Smoke weed every day.
On this issue of immigration, you have been very critical of Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, who has wanted to increase the number of these H-1B.
I was not at all critical of him. I was not.
Where did I read this and come up with this that you were...
Probably, I don't know. You people write this stuff. I don't know where you...
Mrs.
You have
Fiorina, let me
been-
follow up on this for
you
just a
have
moment.
been-
You had talked a little bit about Marco Rubio. I think you called him Mark Zuckerberg's personal senator because he was in favor of the H-1B.
I never said that. I never said
So
that.
this was an erroneous article the whole way
He's
around?
got another gentleman in Florida who happens to be a very nice guy, but not...
My apologies. I'm sorry.
You're really-
My apologies. I'm sorry.
Blown the fuck out.
And I do
Stump.
on occasion, sometimes a lot, but I like to be unpredictable so that people don't know exactly what Unlike
you
this
carrying
country,
right now?
by the way,
Right now?
by the way,
Shut up, Jeb.
by the way, unlike our country where we're totally predictable, and the enemy, whether it's ISIS or anybody else, they know exactly what we're doing because we have the wrong leadership.
Closing statements, 30 seconds apiece. Mr. Trump.
Our country doesn't win anymore. We used to win, we don't win anymore. We lose on trade. We lose with ISIS. We lose with one of the worst deals I've ever seen negotiated of any kind. That's our recent catastrophe with Iran. We don't win. Let me give you one quick example. These folks, CNBC, they had it down at 3.5 hours. I just read today in the New York Times, $250,000 for a 30-second ad. I went out and said, it's ridiculous. Nobody, I could stand up here all night. Nobody wants to watch 3.5 or 3 hours. It was a big sacrifice, and I have to hand it to Ben. We called Ben. He was with me 100%. We called in. We said, that's it. We're not doing it. They lost a lot of money. Everybody said it couldn't be done. Everybody said it was going to be 3 hours, 3.5, including them. And in about 2 minutes, I renegotiated it down to 2 hours so we can get the hell out of here. Not bad. And I'll do that with the country. We will make America great again. And thank you, everybody.
Just for the record, the debate was always going to be 2 hours. Senator Rubio.
That's not right. That
Senator
is
Rubio.
absolutely not right. You know that. That is not right.
You lying fucking shill. You can't stump the Trump.
Just for the record, the debate was always going to be 2 hours.
That
Senator
is
Rubio.
absolutely not right. You know that. That is not right.
Oh shit, I almost forgot. Jeb Bush released a new commercial today. Let's take a look, mates.
If this election is about
calling me a cock,
then I don't want any part of it. I don't want to be elected president to sit around and
get turned into a meme.
So dominant that people literally are in decline in their lives. That is not my motivation. I got a lot of really cool things that I could do other than sit around being miserable, listening to people demonize
Mike Whackball.
To demonize them. That is a joke. Elect Trump. Elect Trump. Elect Trump. Elect Trump.
What do you think about the mosque controversy?
I think we need more mosques,
Why?
so we can show the world that we are not bigots.
But don't you know what happens in countries where Muslims rule?
I don't care. We need more hope and change.
That is crazy.
There are too many Christian fundamentalists trying to impose their views on us through government.
What?
They are trying to take over America. We need more Muslims to show the world how multicultural we are.
But don't you read about what is happening in Europe because of rampant Muslim immigration?
You must be a bigot.
Please. Let's talk about the issues. These events are important.
No. You should not be allowed to speak. You must have supported Bush. You're a hate monger.
But I'm trying to have a dialogue with you about the issues.
Your hate speech should be banned.
But don't you know that Sharia law is being implemented in many European countries with large Muslim immigrant populations?
I don't care. You're a warmonger.
But in many European cities, there are now no-go zones where non-Muslims and police cannot enter.
Islam is a religion of peace. We should welcome all of them.
Yes, but don't you think we should carefully screen which immigrants come here from Muslim countries?
No. You spread hate. I will report you for hate speech.
But don't you think Muslims need to reform their religion to embrace all cultures and renounce violence among them?
No, Muslim immigrants should come. We are a nation of immigrants.
But aren't you aware of the human rights abuses in many Muslim countries, where women don't have rights and are tortured?
No. Conservative Christians oppress women's rights because they don't want women to have abortions. You must be a radical right-winger.
I simply want to have a dialogue about the issues affecting the world.
I'm going to call campus security and have you arrested for hate speech.
No, I'm not condoning hatred towards Muslims. I'm simply addressing a global concern regarding the violence and their religion. There are many who want to destroy Israel and America.
You're a fascist.
Doesn't it feel like every time you want to have a sensible discussion about facts and reality and trends within society, particularly when it overlaps with any kind of politics, don't you feel like any time you want to have a sensible discussion, all of these hysterical brain parasite...
Have you heard him just say, like, what are the problems in America? Hillary can make a case because she can say something that's actually political. This guy don't even tell me the issues in America. What are the issues in America? First off, people like me are dying. The bank's running everything. Anybody else want to get in on this? So Donald Trump wants to bring jobs back to America. You say jobs are an issue. Donald Trump says he wants to bring them back. I didn't say nothing about a job. How? He quit sending jobs to China. We have companies going to Mexico. What are you talking about? Are you even listening? I said people like me are dying. American companies. You want to know why everything you pick up says made in China? That's because other companies devalue their currency, and so companies can make a greater profit overseas. Donald Trump wants to bring it back. Donald Trump is capitalist. This is America. Capitalism. Capitalism is people who cannot exist without exploitation. Didn't think so. Didn't think so.
Let's bring it back to black people being killed by police.
Okay.
What has Trump said about that?
What about white people being killed by police?
Fuck off!
That's not racist, though.
The junior senator from Alabama went on to predict that Trump can turn the economy around for those on the lowest rung of the economic ladder very quickly.